Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Commissioner Aaron's, are you taking the minutes today? Would you mind taking roll call? Make sure to turn on your mic. Or I guess I can take roll call. Chair Chris Brandt, I'm here. Vice Chair Mark Johns. Commissioner Pearson. Commissioner Corona.
Here.
Commissioner Himes.
Here.
Commissioner Aaron's.
Here.
Commissioner Walther was unable to attend tonight, and Historian Judd had to attend to a family matter tonight. Okay. We do have the June meeting minutes to review. Don't know if everyone's gone through them or had any notes from the draft provided by Commissioner Aaron's. I forgot to print out copies though, so we can also just table it and wait for next month if that works better.
So we are tabling the May and June's. We still don't have May.
Right, yes, we would need printed copies of both of those. All right, so we'll put those on hold unless folks have already reviewed the June minutes digitally. Otherwise, we'll just push it till next month. Yeah? Okay, so we'll pass on minutes for tonight. We do not have anyone here present for public input, nor have we received any applications for a certificate of appropriateness or landmark designation. We, aside from correspondence with the town's consultant on the Historic Resource Survey, we have not received any digital or physical correspondence by mail or email. The town historian continues to meet with several folks from the public. He's been very busy the last couple of months, both continuing to work on the archives with members of the Historical Society, but also fielding a number of in-person visits from citizens. But beyond that, he said he did not have any additional items to report for us at this time. So we'll jump into old business. So first one, which we got a couple of copies of here. I know folks wanted to we could start our discussion on the budget for 2026. So in your packet, you should see the draft of the proposed budget request that was submitted by the town historian last year. The second page is the amount that was allotted in the budget for the commission's specific use for the plaque program. And then the last page is the overall town historian's budget from the adopted 2025 town budget. So I'm happy to field suggestions, requests, thoughts from fellow commission members on the budget. And just make sure to tap yourself in on the mic.
So the second page here, that was last year's, but you're just saying let's submit the same thing for the next year?
We can, or given the sort of limited budget that we were provided in the final 2025 budget,
Which was what?
which was the $1,400 for the plaques, and then there was a miscellaneous printing that was sort of lumped in with the historian's budget. So I guess we technically two items on our initial proposed budget request were included in the final adopted budget in 2025. So we can submit something similar. We can make a decision to increase, decrease, omit certain items from this 2025 budget for the 2026.
So the New York State Preservation Conference is coming back to Rochester, so we wouldn't have to have such a large request for attendance.
For training, right.
for training, we could reduce that number and use it somewhere else.
If it's coming, do we know for sure it's coming to Rochester? We just know it's coming west.
Oh,
It's not going to be in the Hudson Valley.
if you don't know,
Yeah.
For some reason I thought it was Buffalo, but don't go by that.
Yeah. I don't think any official location's been announced.
so we would need lodging if it's in Buffalo.
Right, or we can make the decision if we want to diminish that to being a sort of fixed stipend to mitigate but not fully cover. That's sort of up to our discretion. And again, this is just a proposed budget request that then gets reviewed by the comptroller and the town board before any official budget is adopted.
So, bear with me here. In the actual adopted budget,
Yes.
it was 14,800.
Right, and then of that 14,800, there was 4,400 under the 4,000 line item of services and supplies. So that's kind of where we fall under, because yeah, give or take. Although I think there's probably a split beneath that as far as supplies for the historian's office. But yeah, that's where we fall under, is that sort of 4,000 series, and you'll see that in the proposed submission that we had here from the last year. All of our budget items fall under that 4,000 series on those sort of billing codes.
And will it be similar for 2026 where our budget just rolls up into the town historian's budget?
That's a good question. I assume so, but we could certainly request clarification or find. I don't recall there being a breakout budget for other boards like the planning and zoning that may have been lumped underneath the building department, but we can certainly find that out as a question to be answered.
That's a good question, Anne. But looking at the chart of account number, we're definitely under town historian. You can see by the start of
Yep.
all those numbers.
So the 9672 is Tim's salary,
Right. Yep.
and then the 740 was part of that as well.
Sorry, say that again.
So the 740
Oh,
is part of that.
yes, I assume so. Yeah, because he's the only employee that would be covered under this budget.
Okay.
So then the 4,400 was spent by the historic commission or the town historian?
It would be split between us, yeah, so
Okay.
so within that number, that was the sort of other email here, the clarification from the comptroller,
Okay.
that underneath, or as a subtotal of the subtotal, as a subtotal of that 4,400 line item, $1,400 of that was specifically allocated to the plaque program.
Okay. So the rest is copying, maybe?
Copying, printing,
Notices?
right,
For the historic.
I think split, yeah, between, because, yeah, we have, for a couple of meetings in the past, have had our, like, agendas and various just standard business printed items. They've been printed underneath the historian's budget. As far as, like, just the general technology here in Town Hall, they have, all their printers have a sort of swipe card plug-in where they've got to tap in their billing code to assign the cost of the print to the certain billing code.
Do you think if we took off the 5,500 for training, that we might have better luck getting the rest of it passed? Because I'm thinking too, if the conference is in Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, we could drive there easily. You know,
Right.
so we wouldn't have to stay overnight. It might be more convenient, but I'm wondering if we took that out, if it just might make it the rest look better and they would pass it. Because I think the secretarial staff and town attorney is pretty important to have.
Yep.
that we don't have now, so if we could get that,
Yeah.
to me, it's worth sacrificing the conference, and that's certainly something we could try to add in future years.
Or at least just make sure we have mileage.
Yeah.
I mean, they got out scot-free this year. We
Right.
all paid for
Right.
several days of lodging, and
Yep.
we paid for it, so they could at least reimburse us for, and mileage too. We paid for that.
Right.
We paid for everything.
Okay, so thinking about Sarah and Mark's comments, so potentially as a sort of first round draft for maybe looking at next month, we would potentially propose we would retain the training subtotal line item, but diminish it to recover or to cover reimbursables for mileage essentially, instead of trying to lump in, yeah,
And maybe we just go with the number, because isn't our code, or say that every 2 years we need to do it?
we,
Every
the code that's currently under review, or our current standing code? Our current, the CLG requirements, I think it's every 2, but they specify a number of hours, which the current CLG training fulfills and actually exceeds the minimum requirement if we're attending every year.
Do those hours roll over?
That's an accounting question for SHPO.
Yeah.
I know now, like New York State's letting us roll over hours, which they never did before, so it seems to be the trend now. So at least just have the minimum for the minimum. And then we always have the option of not going if we don't want to pay for it.
Right.
ourselves.
Okay.
So looking at the budget, the proposed budget for 2025, to me, the priorities are secretarial staff, town attorney. You have to do legal notices, right? And the town does that.
Correct, which I think that was an item that did come up in, I want to say this was in verbal discussions, I didn't have an email for it. What I recall, but we can verify, is I believe the expenses for the town attorney are a sort of like lump sum coverage for the boards, so it's not like a specific cost to us, but I can verify that. I mean, certainly the secretarial is something that needs to specifically be in our budget. But what I recall from last year when we went through this exercise was being informed that the expenses for the town attorney, when required or needed by our commission, were covered under a sort of general town attorney budget item and not specifically on us. But that's another one to confirm for sure. Okay. I don't recall what our public education portion was. Was that sort of if we were to have a public event and wanted to create like posters, things like that, which still feels like it falls under printing to me. But I don't know if anyone else recalls.
Well, what about the donuts and coffee when we had for that? Was that supplies or was that public education?
I'd consider it supplies.
Well, I don't remember if it was discussed or not, but just to me, thinking public education, could we potentially have to pay someone to speak, like depending on what the topic
Okay, yes. So for more of like
That's
a honorarium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess, yeah, it is under our charge, but I almost wonder if that's something that could be achieved in partnership with the Irondequoit Historical Society, since that's like their main mission.
They're so
That's
good
their
at
main
They're
mission.
so good at it,
Yeah.
We could like give them a couple topics. Oh, how about this? And for the training, can you do like, not all members, but half the members? 'Cause that way, 1 year it's half, and the next year it's the other half, and it's in that 2-year cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't look
Yeah, that's a good
like it's
idea.
as many.
So it'd be like, say we say reimbursement for 4 members of the commission every year, and then if there's more than 4 that are interested, then I guess we can pull straws.
Well, attendance is always free for us.
Correct,
Yeah,
yes.
It's just the driving. If we carpool, then it's not an issue.
Right, that's true.
Do they have town vehicles that people could sign out? No, but like seriously, like,
Good question.
One of those
My
town
guess is
pickup
that
trucks.
my guess is that it probably gets a little weird being like a volunteer citizen versus a town staff person.
yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that would solve the problem with having to ask for mileage. We all pile into a police van or something.
I think we strike public education. That, to me, that seems like not our goal, mission. I don't know.
It's one of our charges, but yeah, it's not like a chief
Yeah.
charge, and it's something that can be accomplished.
It does also seem like a
With-
small and specific amount of money that if we can't say what exactly it's 350 is for,
Right.
if there's another thing, then like you said, it could maybe fit into printing or.
Okay.
And why not combine postage and printing? It's the same code number. Why get so specific between printing and postage? Who gives a crap, really? I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
And it looks like it's less.
Yeah.
You know, less line.
You're all about the optics, Mark. Okay, so combine those, but keep them relatively the same. Supplies. I feel like that's another one that either can be struck or diminished.
What went into that this year or in past years?
So,
Past years, we did coffee and donuts for one walkthrough that we had for the Wimbledon
right,
Road public meeting on site.
Yep.
Saturday morning, so.
And I was thinking it would be good to have, when we do the public engagement section, to have like juice or something next month or whenever it's scheduled for. So it's good to have some amount, I think, there.
And I was thinking too, if we're charged with public education, but we're not really doing that right now, but if we partnered with the Historical Society where they do the education part, but maybe we use our supplies budget to offer something, whether it's printing something or food or something, so that way we're in it together. And then that would be our financial portion of it, potentially. And so if we keep just supplies as like loose like that, then it could be anything that's needed.
okay.
And maybe, doesn't that be 400? I don't know. Maybe it could be 300. I mean,
Right,
a couple things of coffee are like $50.
yeah. So maybe diminish it to 300. It's maybe more realistic.
Once a year, if that much.
Right.
Wouldn't do it more than once a year.
Okay. And then, I guess, yeah, plaques, do we want to kind of keep up the pace we have right now to try to continue to work against our backlog and keep it at 1,400 so we can do 6 plaques a year?
We could try, yeah. I mean, we did a good number. We knocked off a lot.
Right.
Good chunk this year.
But we still got more than 6 to go, I think, yeah.
Then maybe next year we could drop it down to 2 a year or something.
Like for 2027,
Right.
got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Great,
So hopefully we have a longer list of houses at some point.
yes. That's the whole point for the historic
So we're
resource
working
survey.
on.
Okay,
All right, maybe we need to go to 8.
Yeah.
all right. I think I got enough, so I can draft up a version of this with this feedback for next month, and we can go back through it and see if we're good on it, and then we can start talking to the comptroller and be ahead of the ball. Any last comments on the budget? All right. Okay, so a quick update for landmark property plaques. They're at the June town board meeting. We presented two plaques to the Arundecoit Historical Society and the town of Arundecoit for the Pioneer House and the Cobblestone Blacksmith Shop. We made the decision to delay the presentation of the plaques to the next two property owners, Erica Schaeffler and Greg Walther, to the August public meeting of the town board. So those will be upcoming, and then we have another two after that. Related to that, I know we had sort of put it on our to-do list, but I don't know if it's been advanced yet, but we do need to sort of draft a letter to notify property owners about the plaques.
On my list, my
Okay.
to-do list. I knew because Greg and Erica didn't need it.
Right.
When is the August meeting?
August town board meeting is... Okay. The August town board meeting is August 19th. And then, and that's for Erica and Greg's. We've got some breathing room, but still, we want to,
That's the 19th. That's theirs.
that's theirs. And then the ones for property owners who we don't have the direct connection to that we will need the letter for is September, and that meeting is September 16th. I think ideally, if we can try to get the letter out maybe 4 weeks in advance of the September 16th meeting, so in that sort of August 20th time period. Maybe we can just work by email to review that letter and finalize it so we're ready to go for mailing it. Great. Okay, the next update, our revised code, the official announcement for the public hearing on the comprehensive update to Chapter 236 of the Town Code was announced at the July Town Board meeting, and the official public hearing for that revision to Chapter 236 will occur at the August 19th hearing. So I'll already be present for the plaque presentation at the beginning of the meeting, but I will be staying through the meeting to field questions and provide testimony as needed for the town board during the public hearing for the new code. All commission members, if you want to attend, you're welcome to, but don't feel compelled to. But that will be the sort of big public hearing on our revised code. Related to that, we did get confirmation from Fran Stern, the CLG staff member at SHPO. She reviewed our final draft of the code as presented to the town board and confirmed that the code is in compliance with CLG requirements and standards, and they endorsed our rewritten code. So we have our sort of SHPO approval in place as well for that. Yep.
Can you repeat?
Make sure to hit your mic.
Can you please repeat? It was announced at which town
Sorry.
board meeting?
Yeah, so the July 22nd town board meeting,
Okay, and then Fran Stern said the code is in compliance with,
CLG requirements.
okay, thank you.
And we do have an official letter from her
Oh, okay.
stating as such. So I'll be providing that to the town board to be included in their meeting packet.
State, okay, thank you. And I don't have, you're going to be in attendance.
Yes, I will be, but fellow commission members, if you feel so compelled to attend, you're welcome to. but don't feel obligated to. All right. Next, this is more of just a check-in. We've been doing a lot, so I don't expect an update, but I'll just put it out there. I assume we haven't looked at any updates or had any correspondence with signage for Wimbledon Road.
You assume correctly.
All right, that's fine. I know a lot. I know everyone here is doing a lot of work on a lot of other things here for the commission, so there's no problem with that. Okay, so lastly, our townwide historic resource survey is drawing to a close. And as far as a series of updates here for the public, as well as for my fellow commission members, I think as everyone here on the commission is aware, our field work is wrapping up with a anticipated submission of the final draft of the report to be submitted on August 1st to the State Historic Preservation Office. I know many commission members have been actively working to complete our various field photography that we're doing in partnership to support the town's consultant, KTA Preservation Specialist, and their work on the report. I sincerely appreciate everyone working on that. I know it's been a lot of work. I know that both Sarah and Jennifer were out today doing even more photos, but I know all of you have been out and doing a lot of photos and a lot of walking, and just in general a lot of work on this project, so I really, really appreciate it.
What remains to be done?
What remains to be done? Good question. So we have, I think Jennifer wrapped up all the photography for the Huntington Hills district. I know Sarah got either a good start or over half of the Arlington district, so unless someone's claimed the rest of it, there would be some more street photography for Arlington that still remains to be done. Mark pinched hit for me. I don't know if he's gone out yet or not. So Mark went out today as well. So three out of the commission members have been photographing. Wonderful. So so Mark pinched it to finish up the St. Paul district photography. It was a portion of St. Paul B that was still remaining to be complete, but St. Paul should now be done. And then the one for, I guess, sort of discussion on how much stamina everyone here has. So the
If we go together, me and Greg do it, and like Greg would drive and I'd take the photos, and it went quick, and
Really?
I'd be willing to do that.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yep.
So this is in reference to, so this is kind of bleeding over a little bit into the report on the SHPO site visit.
Resources, too. There's still some
Some individual resources.
individual resource, like there's maybe 5 or
I
9.
have my name next to a few that I need to do.
Okay.
There's some unclaimed ones,
Yeah.
and they're mostly east of Arundecoit. So
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say that,
Okay.
and also there's some.
Make sure to hit your mic.
There's Google Street Map views for in the Laurelton neighborhood, which was ours, but I don't know why there's Google Street.
Yeah, there were random, saying, here's the Google picture, replace it with a real picture.
Yeah, I was really
Oh,
surprised
okay.
by that,
Yeah.
because we got like everything, it felt like.
Well, these look like individual houses versus the whole street.
The whole
That's
street.
what I picked up on.
Yes,
Looking
it
at
was.
yesterday.
Okay.
It was the individual properties. It wasn't. I didn't think it was a streetscape. 'Cause
It was under individual, right?
It was under the resources list, which was all the individual.
Okay, so they would need to be done then, and the one that I did on overlooking the bay, like you cannot get a picture of this thing. It's up on a cliff, and
Is that the one on Orland?
yeah, I can't
Yeah,
get
that one's
one.
impossible
If
to
you
photograph.
get a better picture, they can
Make-
list it as eligible. But if you can't get it, you can't get
We
it.
Well,
can't.
so-
I tried in the spring, and it's worse now.
Let's say,
Yeah, I saw the photos. It would be impossible now.
right, so at least related to that one, this is getting into the SHPO visit, so, so if I forget to talk about that, it should remind me, I'll touch on that, and I'll touch on the potential additional district that Mark and Jennifer already offered up to photograph. So I met with staff from SHPO who are reviewing this the Historic Resource Survey, as well as Athen from KTA Preservation Specialist, who's the main staff person there for the town's consultant that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting on the project. So 3 of us spent the majority of, I forgot to put the date here on my agenda. Right, it would have been Friday, the 18th of July. We spent most of the day going through sort of a general view through the whole town, then touching on all of the districts and a few individual properties of interest or areas we had questions about. So a few things did come up that sort of with the Orland Drive property. I don't know if we've had any others that are as bad as that one as far as not being able to get pretty much any photos from the public right away. They did indicate, this came from SHPO, that they would consider if there is publicly available real estate photography. And it's recent enough, they didn't quite qualify that, but I think they said roughly within 5 years. If it's within 5 years, they would consider that to be potential sufficient enough documentation.
Like Zillow or something?
Right, and there are real estate photos of that property. I don't remember how recent. But that could be a way of at least getting it to be reviewed, but otherwise then we may have to put a pin in it. I don't recall anyone else mentioning any other issues aside from that one being particularly, but it's a district for Huntington Hills mostly. And I think the few individual ones are easy to spot from the street. So I guess, if there were others that anyone else is aware of that were difficult from an individual property standpoint, that could be a way to provide the needed photography.
How do you spell that word again, the street name,
Orland, I think, right? Orland.
Is it, you said that overlooks the bay, that house? Because Orland doesn't go to the bay.
It's like Seneca, and then
Orlando or
Yeah, that's not-
Oh, yes.
Different, okay,
Yes,
because there is an
you're
Orland
correct,
that
yeah.
does not.
Yeah, it's not
close
Orland.
by, but it's not.
Thank you, Sarah.
Doesn't go to the bay.
It's Orenda, I think, now that I'm remembering it correctly. So that would be
Orenda Drive, Orenda.
there we go. Thank you.
Yeah, that was my very boring time.
And then the other main thing that I think most all members of the commission are aware of, the other big takeaway. Sorry, there's actually 2. So I'll start with the first one that Mark and Jennifer have already offered to assist with. The staff from SHPO were very interested in exploring identifying a district for Somerville, because of how unique it is to the town's history, and physically how unique it is sort of on a spatial level. They believe there is a way to establish its historic eligibility, even though a lot of the buildings do have some material integrity issues. It's the sort of collective product of them, and so many of them still, on a overall scale, are readily visible as those tent lots on the very tight streets, as that sort of early and affordable sort of vacation community. So they were strongly interested in us submitting that in the draft for consideration as a potential National Register district.
So they have to do a write-up on that district too?
Yes, yeah, and
Arlington,
right, and
we haven't seen or reviewed, so
Right.
how's that gonna happen?
yeah, we'll probably get to review at the same time SHPO does. But yeah, Athen has indicated that he and the folks at KTA are in a position to be able to finish those write-ups and statements of significance on time. They just need us to do the field photography.
They need the photography before August 1st, if that's going to ship.
Ideally, yes. Yeah,
We need to do this before August 1st.
yes. The sooner the better, but within reason, because I know everyone here.
To them, it's
yeah.
still gonna take a while to get the photos and put them
Yes.
in the report.
Right.
I don't think they'd want a week.
It's gonna be hard for
sure to click your mic on.
It's gonna be hard for me to team with you on that. Do we have a map from them?
Yes.
There's a map and
Yeah.
no arrows.
Yeah, there's no arrows. They
Oh,
didn't have time to
okay.
put the street views. Athens just gave general guidance that they would want to see 2 to 3 streetscapes per street in
'Cause
Somerville.
I don't mind doing one or two of the streets, but I'm gonna have to do it like 6:30 in the morning or something, you know?
Kara, I can do it. But the thing is, the map is the hardest part. Making the map, because we have to show where we take the photos from, just like their maps, right? Like the
Right. Yeah, I mean, we indicate it in our file.
Series was little, and that was a lot of work.
Right.
This is bigger, and and you said 3 to 4 per street. That's even more than what we do now for these. We don't
Well,
do every street.
Right. Well, it was like 2 to 3. They want to just make sure you're getting both directions essentially on each
We
street.
don't get both directions on most of these districts. It's
Okay.
one way, looking one on every, an occasional street. It's nothing that dense
Yeah.
on all the ones I did. So that's why I thought it'd be a breeze. We just go down 2 or 3 or 4 streets, take a couple shots, and boom, be done.
Well, that's
with
what
it. It
that.
would be comparable to what we did for all the
Right.
other districts.
I mean, that's
If you look at all the arrows, the density of arrows, that's what you see.
right.
I mean, I have them right here. You're
Right.
not on every street looking 2 or 3 on every street. No way.
In the Laurelton we did.
Really?
I was on every street, yeah.
I mean, there were some streets it was only like 6 houses, where other streets it was almost all of them. So maybe
Yes.
that's,
It takes hours.
yeah. But then doing the Arlington today, I don't know how carefully they placed the arrows compared to like the Laurelton district that was well thought out, but it was pretty much arrow at the beginning of the street and arrow, and they stopped the Arlington district at a weird spot all along, so it didn't even go to the end of the street, but the end of the district, an arrow, and then some of the streets had arrows in the middle. So I just stopped approximately where the arrow was and did pictures in both directions from there. Like if it fell in the middle of the street.
So the other option we have, if everyone's making a big effort to try to get this finished, is if we are unable to do the streetscapes, they will identify it as a potential district in need of further study. So they'll still plant a flag in the survey, it just won't be identified as a district in the survey like the other ones will be.
That's the density of Laurelton, and that's not 3 or 4 per street. It's not even every. Well, yeah, maybe it's 1 or 2 every street.
Right, and that's what they want, like
Okay. that's
2,
not bad.
maybe 3 per street. And that's
Oh
it.
my God, I took so many.
You took a lot.
I took like every 2 houses.
I did the same.
Because it was fascinating. I think, personally, I think we need to do White City because the public is interested.
Right.
We need to document it.
And when people living in Arundecoit think of significant neighborhood, that's probably what comes to mind for most people. Like
Historic.
I don't think, yeah, historic. I don't think there's really anything equivalent that people would think of before that, when just the average person thinks of a historic area.
I mean, they have their own carved wood sign,
Yeah.
which I always get a kick out of.
I just don't know the size of it. Does someone have? Let me look.
It wasn't too big. It's in. Can you access the drive?
Well, I can pull up the email with the map as well.
You probably stand in one location and get tons of houses, because since they're all close
It's
together.
short
Yeah.
streets, so
Yeah.
so
I
it's-
think it's not. Yeah.
one end and the other end, and boom, you got them all.
Right, so it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5,
6,
6,
whatever you
7-ish
want, I don't care.
streets, but they're all very short. So,
Yeah.
and they're all basically one short block long, because it's only what's north of Rock Beach.
Whatever's good for you, tell me.
Okay, I need. Well, after.
Yeah, you guys
let's text
coordinate.
each other.
Great.
What's your?
So the other,
It's gonna rain. It's supposed to rain Thursday, but
Yeah. should be an S, yeah. I was gonna say that it has an S in the end. So,
That's right.
thank you. So Chris, what is the, name of the staff that you met with, SHPO staff? It was-
That'd be Sarah Evenson, Evenson.
And that's it?
And there was, and then it was Athen from KTA.
Okay,
And then there was another staff member, though they are not someone who's going to be reviewing the project.
Okay.
Campbell, I don't remember Campbell's last name, but they are the staff reviewer for SHPO for the Buffalo region, so they would not be involved in the review,
I won't put her.
but they were a good sort of barometer
Oh, okay.
that Sarah sort of relied on. And Campbell's not really familiar with our region, and they had the very same reaction to Sarah the instant we drove in to White City. It was just like a kind of head on a swivel, like, what is this? This is like so unique.
So is Kathy Howe gonna review it?
Kathy Howe is involved in the review, yeah. But yeah, she's the overall sort of staff person for the entire review, or the survey department for SHPO.
They didn't think Gold Coast merited historic district?
Oh,
We asked, but
Rock Beach.
yeah, Rock Beach. I think it's because there's a fair amount of like missing teeth, and you got to have like continuity for a district.
I think the continuity of one, like, it's so grand. I
Right.
think it's,
Well, were there a lot of tear downs and
Right. That's
there's a couple. I mean, I didn't see a
a
lot.
lot of McMansion-y kind of things going on, I wonder?
There's
Ooh, I,
still a lot of old mansions that
Yeah.
right.
I just saw the one tear down. I don't know.
And I think we did. There were. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there were some that were identified as individual on our individual
Yes.
resource list.
And ones that are new. I
Right.
meant just the one segment of it.
And we could.
Where the old ones.
maybe just not enough. So you said there were 2 takeaways from the visit, and also,
Yes, the other big one was they are going to study. We discussed several options to do this. They are going to study ways to break up the St. Paul district to make it more manageable.
okay, good.
But they're going to base it on pre-existing districts that may have followed a similar logic where they use a geographic boundary or like a road boundary. So we had discussed the Park Avenue Historic District in the city of Rochester conveniently uses Monroe Avenue as its southern border, even though very much the same era, same scale of housing continues south of Monroe, but they stopped it at that sort of arterial street. So we talked about that as one line of reasoning, that you use St. Paul as the demising line and potentially cut the district in 2, sort of west and east. And then the other option, using a geographic feature, is the ravine that's sort of just north of the sort of the S curve at Cooper, and like Seneca Park Avenue, and having that as a sort of north-south cut. But they were gonna. The SHPO was receptive to that, as was KTA. So they're going to study, and we should see that in the draft of a proposed subdivision of the St. Paul district. But
So in the August 1st draft,
yes,
they're gonna, so SHPO will already have studied it and gotten back to KTA for August 1st?
hopefully, I've not seen an email that they've gone back, but SHPO has been reviewing it for like the last month. And they'd already been reviewing it for a couple of weeks by the time they got here in person on the 18th.
Did they say anything about the size of it?
They were worried about the size, but more from a technological and logistical standpoint of them being able to process the nomination. But there is precedent for a immense district like that in New York State. There's a 6,000 property district that's currently being reviewed in the Buffalo region. So we can't quite say, oh, this has never been done before at 4,500 properties.
How did they do that? Who's doing it? Like,
They're
it's a city though, it's not a town.
Right,
Well, that's different.
Yes.
It's like the city of Rochester with Park Avenue and.
right. So, yeah, they were receptive to it, so I expect we will see some subdivision, but what wasn't definitive, we didn't sort of settle on, this is the way we're gonna divide it up. We settled on two lines of logic that could be used to subdivide it, so when we see the draft, it could be like split into two districts, it could be split into three, it could be split into four. Probably not any more than that.
I don't have any say in that.
The problem is that the subdivisions have to be defended in the statement of significance, so it's going to rely on the expertise of the consultant and sort of establishing this sort of basis in the statement of significance to, and as part of that, they have to write a boundary justification for every district. So it'll be more in their hands, but we've sort of we've made our concerns heard clearly and to both parties. So we should see some improvement from just one immense district.
So when this is all said and done, this is just, like recommendations for a potential historic district, right?
Right, although every single one that's identified and is accepted by SHPO will officially be listed as eligible. So that's like the first hurdle to get over, is to have a determination of eligibility before you then proceed with a National Register
you-
listing.
Like, say they just decide to keep it all one whole district, and then if we decide to pursue it, could we, when we're trying to make things, more like official, could we choose to break it up into 4 districts?
We could, yeah, with our, whatever consultant we end up hiring to do that, we could then take on the argument again when it comes time to actually pursue the National Register listing.
So if it doesn't go a way we'd prefer through this time, we do have an opportunity to change it if
Yes.
we pursue it.
Correct.
Okay.
But it would be great to sort of get it
Right.
from the get-go already subdivided.
Chris, was there any requests for additional service?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
KTA has been working really hard. I really appreciate how hard they've been working. But yeah, there's been no requests for additional service on their part. And they've only even sent in a single payment application so far,
Wow.
which is pretty astounding. And it was
Yes.
only for the first 20% of the project, I think.
Wow.
So, so big kudos to them. The last item for the town-wide historic resource survey, I think as all of us here on the commission know, but we'll be to announce it publicly here at the meeting tonight, and then we hope to work with the town to make sort of more public advertising for this, but the presentation the final public presentation for the townwide historic resource survey is scheduled to occur in this room on September 9th. Athen and likely Annie, both from KTA, will be here in person to provide that presentation. And we will work with the IT department here at the town to figure the best way to make sure that we get a high-quality stream of that presentation through the live feed here from the room for those who are not able to make it in person.
There's no other meetings scheduled for this room on that date.
Right, so at least on the normal schedule of boards that are on the town website, there is nothing officially scheduled for this room, and we've asked for confirmation of that from town staff. But there is no listed public meeting that's occurring in this room on that date,
What time would that be?
7 o'clock.
Cool.
All right,
So will we have hard copies at all available?
that's a good question. We can ask if they can, so you're looking see if the KTA can provide like a slide deck almost, or like a printout of whatever they're presenting.
No, he means a
Oh, you mean,
report.
the report.
Like maybe a couple that people can browse through. I don't know. We'd have to number them and chain them so they don't walk out with.
Right. So it'd be like a hard copy of the final draft. Yeah, we can ask.
And copy of whatever they're presenting too, if it's not. too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Copy of the,
Yep, print of the slides as well. Okay. Yeah, because we will have a printed copy of the final that's already required by the contract. But yeah, I can ask if we can potentially get a hard copy of the final draft for that meeting.
Or they send it to us and have Tim print them out or something. if we
Right,
still have
that's true.
Budget.
Yeah, we could we could use the remaining portions of our print budget for this year and print out all
Since we have
475 pages.
it itemized.
Okay, that's all I got for historic resource survey, unless anyone else has other questions.
I have, how are we going to get this on the radar of people?
So I think, yeah, that is something we should maybe discuss with the town IT department. But yeah, I think at a minimum, we'd love to get it on the website. I know other towns, usually to make the files more manageable, they often break them up and then like have separate PDFs for each chapter of the Historic Resource Survey, and you have them all available on the Historic Preservation Commission's website. So we can certainly look at that. And then I think Mark, you had asked about the sort of like mapping information, if there was some way that could be made more readily available. So we can ask that as well.
Jennifer, weren't you asking about the meeting notice? Like
Yeah, I'm thinking like, can we get it on public,
meeting,
what is it called, social media?
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
because that would be important to get
We gotta get people here.
advertised.
So the the Historical Society, we gotta let them know as soon as possible. They're doing an event with the guy who wrote the book on, the Durand Eastman Park history.
Yep.
That'll be well attended, so if they can make a mention at that.
And can we, like the library is really good about, they send out this newsletter every week.
Oh,
Okay.
And if we could just
library
have it
newsletter.
added to one of their weekly newsletters.
Mhm.
I don't know who it goes to. I thought it went to every card, library card.
I don't
person,
get it.
but you guys don't get them?
I think
I
you
get
have
from
to,
Brighton.
opt into it.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know
Yeah.
how I got it.
Yeah, me too. But
Yeah.
every week, every Monday morning, boom,
Yep.
it pops up, 7:00. It's like-
I get the
it's-
Brighton one.
It's amazing. I mean, they're very on the ball. They got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it would be nice if we could get it in that too, because
Sure.
I think that reaches people.
Great idea.
In addition to the social media stuff, you could send.
Right.
I can't say it.
And does the library have like a board you can put up meeting notices and stuff?
I think
Yeah.
there is one there at the vestibule. Yep.
I just feel like a lot of people would use the library. People potentially interested in coming to this.
What, the educated people?
The people who are interested in learning things.
All right, any last takers on the Historic Resource Survey? Okay, I don't have any new business items here on the agenda unless anyone else does. And then lastly, I think everyone's seen this, but just wanted to take the opportunity to read this memorial statement into the record that we did present at the town board meeting, but also just as in honor of our town historian, former town historian Pat Wayne, who served a long time here with the commission. So if you'll allow me the indulgence, I'll just read this into the record here at this meeting. Patricia Pat Wayne, our former longtime town historian, passed away earlier this month at the age of 97. Born in Akron, New York, Pat attended the University of Wisconsin before moving to the vicinity of where land and waters meet with her husband Anthony and settled at their longtime home on Brookview Drive in the mid-1950s. Pat had a fulfilling decades-long career as a social studies teacher at East High School in Rochester before retiring in 1989. Bored of retirement life, she applied twice, was interviewed for, and appointed as the town historian in 1991. Mrs. Wayne carried on the legacy of her notable predecessors, Walter Sassaman and Maud West, serving with zeal and dedication in her office for 28 years, likely becoming the longest-serving town historian in Irondequoit's history. Pat's passion for and dedication to the documentation and preservation of Irondequoit's cultural heritage cannot be overstated. According to our current town historian Tim Judd's accounting, she wrote over 100 articles on our history that were published in the Irondequoit Post and Democrat and Chronicle, in addition to her countless public talks and lectures. She established a long, productive, and collaborative relationship with the Irondequoit Historical Society and the town's Public Works Department that, under her leadership, was instrumental in saving, repairing, and relocating the Pioneer House in 1995, the Cobblestone Clubhouse in 2004, and the Cobblestone Blacksmith Shop in 2008, all to town-owned properties. Pat and her collaborators received long overdue recognition for this work, with a Special Commendation Award from the Landmark Society of Western New York in 2024. Historian Wayne was also a tireless advocate for our town's oldest burial ground, the Hooker Cemetery, working to secure funds and volunteers to restore headstones, create walkways, and maintain the landscape. Lastly, the reason many of our fellow commission members had the opportunity to work with Pat was due to her leadership in establishing our Historic Preservation Commission and the Historic Preservation Code for our town in 2002. This effort she would continue to support until her retirement in 2019. Patricia Wayne was a remarkable and tenacious woman who made an indelible positive mark on her adopted hometown of Irondequoit, altering its history, architecture, and environment for the better. So signed by all of us, but thank you very much, Pat, for all of your years of service, and I hope we're doing you proud now. That is all I've got for good and welfare, unless anyone else has anything else. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn at 8:29?
So moved.
Get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you, everyone.